Okay, so what we did at the beginning was to mention to you that Channels Book Club were looking at literature and encouraging young people to read and to get involved in book reading. And that's the reason behind Channels Book Club, which is a weekly program that we broadcast on the station. Well, as part of our drive to encourage young people to do that, this idea has come up. And to discuss Channels Book Club Prize for Literature with us this morning, we've got on my left hand side, I will start with Adirele Shinariwo, who's wearing yellow. Welcome to Sunrise.
Well, she's on Sunrise.
She's
going to be sunny.
Bright and yellow, yes. Adirele is Director, Modern Day School of the Arts, and sitting next to her is Silva Nze Fedibo, who's a fiction writer and op-ed columnist. He's also the author of The Funeral Did Not End. And on this side, we've got we've got Yona Oyegun Masade, who is CEO and Managing Editor of Kachifo Limited, publisher of Farafina and Prestige Books. And just beside Yona is Kunle Kasumu, our own presenter of the Channels Book Club and producer as well. Well, I will want to start with you, Kunle. I know the idea. We sat together and we discussed this extensively. Talk us through the reason behind this.
Okay, sorry about my throat is a bit. The Channels Book Club, like you know, was your idea, Mr. John Momo's idea. The Channels team generally.
Take the credit for what you got.
The whole idea was to encourage a reading culture in Nigeria and to focus particularly on young people who are in secondary school. It's a culture that needs to be rebirthed. It's a culture that needs to be encouraged. Young people are out there, they love football, they love movies, they love music, they love all sorts, which are fantastic. But the reading culture is one that is dying. So the idea was to revive that culture by encouraging reading. Now, the concept of this competition is get a copy of Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, read it, and write an essay to review it. So unlike usual essay competitions where you just pluck a topic out of the air and just write, this one says read, then review the book through the essay. So most of the people who have been competing have been encouraged to read the book and then write their essays to review the book.
So it closes today. If anybody brings in their entry today, they will still be accepted, right?
Oh yes, closes by 12 midnight today. Somebody still called this morning and said, I'm interested. I said, then go for it.
Because we spoke about it at the beginning of this program at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And he said it was closing today. And if you're interested, there's still time. Go write it and send it in today.
No wonder. The call came at about 9:15 or something.
Okay.
So this is a test in English language, English literature, and comprehension. Am I correct? Because you have to understand the book to be able to write anything on it.
And I will add presentation as well.
Right.
Yes, because these are things that we say are missing in schools nowadays. People don't write essays anymore.
Yeah.
Everything is multiple choice.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So, maybe you should throw in some of the things. What would you be looking for? I'm sorry, Silva. Silva. Maybe you should throw in some of the things you will be looking for in the essays that these young people will be writing.
Okay. We're interested in making sure that the people who send in entries have read the book, want to see a good use of language, want to see a good expression, detailing the characters in the celebrated book as Things Fall Apart. Want to equally at the end of the competition, when the first list of short list is made, we equally want to see them present their work to us. So it's not just about
the presentation of the words, or
the presentation of the essays they've written, sort of defending what they've written.
Okay,
exactly. So the stages of the judging, we will have a first short list of 10, which we've mapped out criteria which we'll be judging them against, and then we'll bring in these 10 people to meet with the judges and actually present on their work, so that we are both testing them on presentation and verifying that they actually wrote what.
Yes. I am assuming that you are one of the judges.
Yes, I am.
So there is a panel of judges. How many judges are there?
There are 3 judges.
Are they 3 judges here in the studio? Right. Okay, so we have the 3 judges here in the studio. Now, might I ask, Denrele, what qualified you as a judge?
Well, I run an art school. One of the things that we identified before, while thinking about starting the school, was that there were no full-fledged creative arts programs professionally in the country at the moment. So we run creative writing courses, we run photography, fashion, and part of this book club prize for literature is about creative writing as well. It's not just about just writing; it's about getting an ambassador for the book club as well. So I guess that's what qualifies me, because the Modern Day School of the Arts we teach creative writing courses, we teach communication classes as well.
Okay, Yona, can you help us with the issue of, we know today we're talking about the BlackBerry age, where everybody wants to text and BB and tweet, and the language of tweeting and BBing is just
please, I can't even read texties.
The spelling and the grammar is non-existent. How do we begin to measure kids who are now used to that's where you put TT or THT with this issue of writing properly?
I mean, I think that's one of the things that the competition is actually trying to address, to say, you know, yes, it's great that we have this brand new text language, which is, you know, it's a wonderful new invention, but at the same time, you know,
are you sure of that? I don't think so.
You know what? I actually think that it serves a certain generation for the purpose that they use it for, but it's important to remember what the English language is. You know, the English language isn't D for thee and MSG for message, or even something shorter, I don't know, you know. It's important for young people to actually know what is correct. And so even if they do text language, they understand that that is not correct. You know, one of the problems that, you know, that some teachers will tell you that is these days kids are writing essays in text language. So I think that's one of the things that this competition is actually trying to address, to say there's a skill called there's a skill about being able to differentiate, you know, being able to communicate in the appropriate way depending on where you are, depending on the setting. So it might be okay with your friends and with your classmates maybe to use text language between you, but young people in Nigeria have to understand that there are certain other scenarios where that's not appropriate. And I think that's one of the things that this competition is trying to address, to say, you know, there's a proper way. You know, there's a proper way to communicate. There's a proper English. There's a the language English can't be changed by sort of our convenience or whatever it is.
So you know, find things like way. It's okay now.
Yes,
it's okay now.
You know that has its own place.
Yes.
That has its place, but kids have to actually also understand the proper way to communicate, the proper way to present themselves, which is why I'm really happy that there's a presentation aspect, you know, of the competition as well, because it's not just about the written word, it's also about being able to present confidently and being able to speak properly.
And Yona, after all said and done, whatever course you choose to study, you're going to learn it in the English language.
Absolutely.
So you better be able to understand.
And no matter your profession, you need to be able to communicate effectively and clearly.
I mean, this is brilliant.
Yes. Tell us, what's the incentive for all the young people to take part in this? Because I'm sure some parents are watching and they're thinking, well, my son is very good with writing English. He should be involved in this. What's in it for them?
Well, the first prize is a sponsored trip to the Frankfurt Book Fair in Frankfurt, Germany. Now, the Frankfurt Book Fair is not an ordinary book fair.
Any child who loves books will just get lost in there.
It's the biggest book fair in the world, undoubtedly. It has about 500 years of history. So everybody wants to go to the Frankfurt Book Fair. I was at Frankfurt last year, but I missed the fair by a day. I almost cried. I had to come back to Nigeria just a day before. So I'm looking forward to going there this year. So
taking the winner.
Taking the winner.
Yeah.
So it's